The types of questions you'll see in the essay are ones like, is it always best to tell the truth? Or are technological advances always for the best? Or should we be more questioning of the decisions of people in authority? Or is our concern over privacy issues overblown? Note that these are prompts that can be answered as yes or no. You won't see a prompt like, what do you consider measures of success? It'd be more likely, is wealth a good measure of success? And what you want to do is take a position on one side or the other. You don't want to be wishy-washy. You want to be on the pro or con side. That's the best way to get a high score. And you don't want to start writing immediately. You want to take a few minutes to organize your thoughts, the position you want to take, pro or con, and the examples you will use. You should try to come up with 2 examples. One may not be enough to give you sufficient scope and detail, and there won't be enough time for 3. And they should be concrete and specific examples and not vague hypotheticals. They don't expect perfect grammar and spelling in a 25-minute essay, but too many glaring mistakes will reduce your score. And the most common way to structure an essay is start with your first paragraph, state your position, and a lead into the examples you will use. The next paragraph is your first example with transition sentences from the first paragraph and to the next paragraph, and how the examples relate to your positions, and what generalizations can be drawn from the example. Then next paragraph is second example. Examples can be drawn from personal experience, current events, history, pop culture, or literature. And you want to make sure you give yourself enough time to get your conclusion down. Restate your position and how the examples relate to issues of general concern to society. For example, if your example is about dishonesty in a local politician receiving kickbacks from, say, a construction company, you don't just want to talk about how it may lead to poor building construction and affect the local community. You want to think about how is that related to issues of general society concern? Things like leading to distrust in politicians and government. The essay is scored by 2 people who give a score from 0 to 6. 0 if your essay isn't on the topic. We're going to focus on the top 3 scores, 4 to 6. And your total score is a combination of the 2 for a possible score of 12. And if the scores are more than 1 point apart, they'll probably have a third person review it. And you can see the scoring guide on the College Board's website to get more detail. But here, again, we want to concentrate on the top 3 scores. And it's looking at the adjectives will give you an idea of what they're looking for. It's like a score of 6 is talking about clear and consistent mastery, whereas 5 is reasonably consistent mastery. A score of 4 is just adequate mastery. And in terms of the details, say for a score of 6, that the point of view is effectively and insightfully developed, whereas 5, that it just effectively develops, and a score of 4 develops a point of view. A score of 6 demonstrates outstanding critical thinking. A 5 demonstrates strong critical thinking, and a score of 4 competent critical thinking. And 6 uses clearly appropriate examples. 5 uses appropriate examples. A score of 4 if you use adequate examples. And a score of 3 would be if you have inconsistent critical thinking, inadequate examples to support your position. And a score of 6 is well organized and clearly focused. A score of 5 is focused, and score of 4 is generally organized and focused. So again, the adjectives give you an idea of how they're evaluating the essay. Score of 6 has skillful use of language. Score of 5, facility in language. Score of 4, adequate. So you should at least be getting a score of 4 on the essay. So if you just give a decent essay. And score of 6, meaningful variety in sentence structure. 5, variety. And 4, some variety. And a score of 6 is free of most errors. Generally, score of 5 generally free of errors, and score of 4 has some errors. So in the overall approach to the essay, you want to have details. Detailed examples, connect them to your main point, connect them to general society interests, use variations in your sentences, have transition sentences between paragraphs. So you can go to the College Board site to get more details and look at example essays, examples of a 6 essay, 5 essay, and so on. But this is just an overview here. You can get more specifics at the College Board website. Your overall writing score is a combination of your raw score on the 49 multiple choice grammar questions and your 2 essay scores, each reviewer giving you 0 to 6 for a possible 12. One thing to note is that you can do poorly on the essay and still get a 670 if you get all of the grammar questions right. So I wouldn't obsess too much on the essay. Try to do your best. Try to get at least a 4 from each of the reviewers to give you an 8. Another thing to note is that there are many ways to get a particular score. If you are shooting for an 800, there are these possibilities. If you're shooting for a 700, there are these possibilities. So you could get just 80% of the raw score points and still get a 700 with some good essays. Or if you have a poor essay, you can get a 700 if you do well on the grammar. And if you're shooting for a 600, you have these possibilities. So, and this chart goes down further, and you can get the full one on the College Board's website. But you can get just 60% of the raw score points and still get a 600, say if you get 2 5s on your essay. Or you could have a poor essay and do well on the grammar. If you're shooting for a 500, you have all of these possibilities. So again, you could have a mediocre essay and 60% of the raw score points and still get a 500. So that's a quick overview of the SAT essay, and you can get more information on the College Board website. Thank you for listening.